President Trump there saying it's been a great honor to serve in the White House. It was a great home. A little wave there from the First Lady as well as we see Marine One now getting prepared to land at Joint Base Andrews. Interesting, David Murray, that he said maybe it's not the last time you'll see me.
Yeah, that was notable, George. He said hopefully it's not a long-term goodbye. He said over and over again it was a great honor, a great home. As he turned and looked back at the White House, a great honor. But you look at Marine One as it prepares to land there, and this is also steeped in tradition, though it's happening earlier in the day than we typically see it every 4 years. This usually happens after that inaugural moment at the Capitol, and then the incoming president, the outgoing president, gathered to review the troops. Nancy Reagan once said that Ronnie turned and saluted, and they got on Marine One and circled the White House one extra time because Ronald Reagan said, "Look, there's our bungalow." She said that he said that with a lump in his throat, how emotional that trip on Marine One is. I can only imagine what this has been like this morning for Donald Trump and Melania Trump as they now leave. The sun came up in Washington 7:23 this morning, and it was just an hour later they were leaving the White House, and now they land here, where the president is expected to speak again, George.
Yeah, he's going to speak. That usually doesn't happen either. Tom Llamas is now there at Joint Base Andrews. Is there more of a crowd there now to hear the president's speech, Tom?
Yeah, George, shortly after we reported our first time, about 100 to 200 Trump supporters filed, and you can see them just behind me. We're seeing a lot of families here. There's a surprising number of children here as well. Also, the first family is here. If I can ask my photographer, Gary, to zoom in just above the crowd's heads right there, you can see the first family here waiting for President Trump and the First Lady as Marine One wheels in right now. We are expecting President Trump to make a short speech, about 15 minutes. We're expecting him to thank a lot of the supporters who are out here, thank the country, but also talk about potentially what he plans on doing in the future. And again, we can't say it enough how different this is than anything else we've seen before. 4 years ago at his inauguration speech, one of the first things President Trump said was he thanked the Obamas. He said, quote, "They were magnificent on this day." And we will not see something like that today because the president has decided not to be there for his successor. He's decided not to be there for the country as the transfer of power occurs. Just behind us, like I said, there's about maybe 200 to 300 people in this crowd, but it's not packed. There's empty spaces, and there are people that are lingering around here. Not sure how the president's going to take that. I'm sure he'll be happy that some people came out, and it may be telling George of where his support is right now in the country. I spoke to a lot of Trump supporters last night all across the country to kind of get a gauge of where the support was, and a lot of Trump supporters I spoke to said they were happy with him, but they want to turn the page. They are ready for the next leader in the Republican Party to emerge. It seems the older the Trump supporter I spoke to, the more willing they were to give him a second chance. But a lot of Republicans I spoke to yesterday, George, were ready for the next chapter for the party. They're ready to turn this page and say goodbye to President Trump, George.
Thank you.